Hey, yes, we got my favorite constructor, Machinist. The character's name, hero's name, is Thora, which is the female, but the class is Machinist. Now, the majority of the player base now most likely wasn't around 8 months ago when we had the scavenger event, which was taking place during the first Horde Bash event. And with the scavenger event, we got Gunblazer Southie, we got Machinist Harper. So Machinist is actually a reskin. It's not a new constructor. So, but for the majority, most people don't play games for a whole year. They usually play it for a week or a weekend or a month most. So, it's technically a new hero for everybody. So it is my favorite. It's a little funny that we have another constructor in a soldier's body. I kind of prefer the thickness of the female constructors. I mean, not to say there isn't anything wrong with this one, but let's keep it kind of PG. It's YouTube. So, constructors, quick before we get into it. There's basically kind of, if I was to separate constructors into three, I hate the is it the best constructor? What's the best constructor? They're different. Unlike soldiers, which are just damage. What's the best soldier? Damage. Okay, then you can kind of classify it into single target, AoE, whatever. But constructors, you've got defensive base ability, offensive base ability, and then you've got actually there's kind of four. Then you've got your ninja constructors, which are melee constructors, and then you've got your decoy plasma pulse setup. DPS constructors. So there's lots of different styles of constructors on what they do, how they play. Machinist is an offensive base ability constructor. So we'll get into that in a second. The in-game description of Machinist is uses base to make traps more powerful. At level 1, you get Creative Engineering, which increases your build speed by 10%, reduces building cost by 10%. That's standard across the board for all constructors. You also get Plasma Pulse, you get your base ability, and Decoy. So technically, she can kind of fall under the Decoy Plasma Pulse build category as well. At level 5, you get Supercharged Traps. Increases the damage done by all traps within the base's range by 30%. 30% buff to your traps. At level 8, Automated Defenses increases the base connectivity by 1 building piece. So if your base, you put your base down, it goes out 3 tiles in every direction. It actually goes out 1 extra tile, so it's going 1 this direction and 1 this direction. Camera frame. So technically, you could be like, oh, well, it goes 2 pieces, technically. Level 12, you get Electrified Floors. A lot of people overpraise this ability. Basically, the enemies within the area affected by base take damage every 2 seconds. It's very small damage. It adds up. I believe it also counts as Affliction. It could have been a bug. I think we've tested it. We might test it in the video. We'll see. Depending on the time. Or it could be a Mythbuster video. We'll see. But keep that in mind. It could be counted as Affliction. So if you have a weapon that does damage to Affliction, but the gun doesn't cause Affliction, and they're on your base. Level 15, you get Tough Traps. Increases trap durability by 25%. So now they will last 25% longer. Level 18, Overclocked Traps. Decreases the reload rate for all traps within the base's range by 20%. So now they will trigger 20% faster. Level 3, you get Kinetic Overload. That's standard to all constructors. That's the hammer thing. Well, when you crit, you do this big blam energy explosion. And then at level 12, you get 25. It's too early for this language. Oh, man. Okay, that's out. Done. 2 mistakes. No more. Lofty Architecture increases health of buildings within the area of the base by 15%. So that is a defensive perk. That's like the first big defensive perk that she actually has. So one would argue, well, she's good on your objective. Well, she's also good on other things. I'll show that here in a little bit. Level 30, you get Recycling. It's a little weird to see. I think I don't know. It's cool. What Recycling does is for every 3 building pieces of the same material, the base generates 1 of that resource every 60 seconds. Level 2 buildings are worth 3 building pieces, and level 3 buildings are worth 6 building pieces. The base can store up a maximum of 450 of each resource. So basically, like, the bigger the fortress you build, the more items that the base is touching, it starts absorbing the resources back in. You walk over to your base, you can press X or E or whatever the button is on your PlayStation controller and gather your resources back. But so can your friends. So can your friends or your unfriended pug matched players in the lobby. Brings to the table a new support bonus called Tough Traps. Increases trap durability by 25%. So you can now add durability to any of your heroes. Yeah. But let's be honest, unless you're doing a goofy build like my merry-go-round or my bouncy houses, your traps pretty much aren't going to run out of durability unless you're doing SSDs. So just for fun, I'm running the OG Machinist so I can get that extra 25% durability so my traps will never disappear. And then I used to run Power Base in my tactical support with Machinist so that my base would heal over time. So not only my structures that are affected by the base get that extra health, but then they also heal. So killing Death Burst, exploding Death Burst, doesn't matter. So with that extra health, it helps keep your walls up. It also has that extra health to if you're fighting a smasher that's a higher level that's going to pretty much one-shot a wall. It sometimes gives that extra health to where it stops the smasher, and then it's going to heal because not everybody heals your stuff. But now I run Heavy Base, which is now a rare Constructor because you can't get it anymore. He was part of a previous event. You can get him out of the birthday llamas as well, but since all of that is in the past, he is no longer obtainable. Maybe, hopefully, they'll bring another Heavy Base out soon because he is between Machinist and Heavy. Those are the two offensive base-oriented Constructors. Base, Power Base, Mega Base are your three defensive base oriented Constructors. When I say defense, they're the ones that are going to put their base on your fortress, on your objective to buff it to play defense, right? These guys are going to get you yelled at if you play properly. Okay, so here we are in game. Let's just knock out the base coverage really quick. I already went ahead and pre-built the area of coverage. Since this had the +1 in every direction, it actually goes out, like I said, 4 in every direction. So it covers, the standard base goes out 3. So just to here, and then to here, and then to here. So this goes out a complete 1 extra in every direction. So it's a bigger, I mean, that's huge, dude. And then you've got people like Power Base and Mega Base who get 2 +1s, so then it goes out another 1, and then a +2, so then it goes out 4 extra in every direction. Those are massive coverage areas. That's why everybody likes it. But who's going to build a fortress this big? Jeez. I mean, when you're covering like a shelter, or if you're covering a quad atlas, then maybe. So that's the area coverage of this. It has electrified floors, so anything that walks on top is going to take damage. And I'll show you how awesome electrified floors is if I can find something. Alright, so here's electrified floors. 476, 300, 300. So it does get reduced by elements, by the way. 356 and 475. 475 for the regulars, and 376 to the elementals. Every 2 seconds. It's a lot of damage, guys. It's a lot of damage. You get decoy. It's just a small decoy. Standard size. Comes out to here. Tracks everything in. While you're doing that, you can come in and drop your plasma pulse. Oh, God. Lag. What was that? Performance issues. What? I'll do this again. Oh, man, that plasma pulse has a massive cooldown. This charge up here is, this is not Machinist. This is what Heavy Base applies to the tactical. So, for those of you that don't have it, I probably shouldn't have slotted this to show you for the example. Basically, what Heavy Base's tactical does is as you kill husks on anything that is connected to your base ability, it charges up. Once you kill 30 kills on your structures, it'll explode. Here's what recycling is. See, I can walk up to my base, and I have 8 wood stored in here. It'll store stone, metal, and wood. You can just walk over and collect it. 8 wood back. Okay, decoy and plasma pulse. Drop your decoy, 30-second cooldown, cost 45 energy. Drop your plasma pulse. It's got a 45-second cooldown. That's gross. That's about 2,800. 2,800. 3,000. With my tech level. Alright, so we've got all of these traps here tethered to my base. So everything's going to be doing more damage. And they're going to be triggering faster. Just going to hang out over here.
Go on over here.
Okay, there's that. Let's go ahead and spawn the encampment. There's no rhyme or reason to this setup. I just threw traps down just to watch. There we go. Killed an encampment. Okay, so how do you play an offensive base character? You're going to get yelled at. If you pug and you do matchmaking, people are going to call you dumb and silly because everybody, when they think of Constructor, no matter what Constructor, it's all about the base ability. No, it's not. So let's pretend that this 2x2 is the objective, okay? It's ride the lightning or something. We can't say ride the lightning because ride the lightning has random 360-degree spawns. But let's just say this is the objective, okay? It's just for the point. Bear with me. These are the spawners. So you got spawners over here. You got spawners over here, okay? So if you wanted to, if you're using like a 360-degree flawless base design, like my style, then where you're relying on all of the traps around your objective, then sure, slap your base down to buff all your traps. But if you're going out and you're building a kill tunnel like this, from the objective to the spawners, and you fill this up with traps, this is your tunnel, okay? Your other teammates are responsible for whatever they're doing over here, right? You slap your base on your tunnel. You can slap it here. It buffs everything in your tunnel. So you can now sit back, you can hop on Tinder, start swiping right. Everything is going to kill things. You could Snapchat your buddies, you could talk to chat if you're a streamer. It's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It doesn't even have to be on ground level. You can slap it up on top if you wanted to. And what cracks me up is people that do this. I mean, I guess it's I mean, if you want to wrap your base, this is just as effective, and now you can get up top and look down and then throw turrets up in the air even higher. Lots of things you can do. But yeah, so the Machinist is designed for you to buff your traps. So if you're doing kill tunnels, you do you, man. You as another person would say, you do you, boo-boo.
Here they come.
But, yeah, you're going to put your base out here, and all of your random pugs are going to call you an idiot for not putting it on the base. And you're like, dude, come on, man. Nothing's going to get through my tunnel. You worry about you. And most likely, they're going to put a pyramid on here anyway, so why would you slap a base on a pyramid? What are you doing? Does it clear the bubble? Ah, man! Epic, please fix. Get out of here. One last note. I've mentioned it before, many times. Don't drop your decoy in tunnels. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sure, you can drop your plasma pulse if you want, but if you're gonna drop a decoy, you're gonna want to drop it either as a last resort to pull things off of your base walls, so you can run over and quickly pop a heal or get everything grouped up so you can kill it. Or you're going to want to get up on your...
Let's see.
Get up on your structure. And something I think a lot of people don't realize you can do is that even Outlanders can do this. You can drop your stuff down in front. Boom. There you go. There you go. Now you got action going down. You can shoot, throw grenades. People can shockwave off of here. You can even drop your, oh yeah. Okay. No, for Ant and Raven, I think I covered everything. We covered the base. We covered how the traps work. Remember, you get 30% extra damage. They reload and trigger faster. Not trigger, that's a bad word because trigger is actually a mechanic. So they reload faster, and they have massive durability increase. So they last a lot longer. You get decoy, you get plasma pulse. Plasma pulse has a massive cooldown, though. The character, it's bare bones. Nothing's buffed for plasma pulse or decoy, but at least you have them. At least you have them. And then... yeah, remember, wherever you put your base, it's to buff your traps, man. So if you build a kill tunnel, put it here. If you're building a 360 degree on your base or objective, put it at the objective. Somebody wants to call you out, whatever, man. It's their fault for not running Machinist. Ultimately, in the pregame lobby, if they see a Machinist, they should automatically already assume, based on the mission type, if you're going to be defending or not. So if they're like, "Oh, we got a Constructor, we don't need to play a power base." Whoa, offensive, okay, offensive. And on another note, if you're doing this properly, you can go help the scrubs out over here and not even worry about your side. You can go over here and fight on the open if they want to. It's awesome. Totally awesome. All right, that's it. That's too much information. That's way too much. And I can keep going. I can keep going about some cool stuff. I love this. This is one of my all-time favorite Constructors. Anyways, I'm out. We'll be playing with this. I've been rotating Kinetic Beats, Dark Viking, and we're going to be doing a lot more Machinist on stream over the next couple days. A lot of people are asking about it, so I'm showing all kinds of different ways that you can utilize Machinist. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I love Machinist. So, with that, if you're curious, you want to swing by, we're live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/SlyGumbi. Typically, almost always between the hours of 8 p.m. in the evening to 2 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, West Coast United States. Last night, I closed at work, so we didn't go live until, God, almost midnight, but we ran until 6 a.m. So, late nights. You can guarantee to see some action, some goofiness. Come watch how we handle trolls. It's fun. Everything's fun. We talk crap to everybody. Everybody talks crap to us. We learn. We test. We did a bunch of math, spreadsheet number stuff on gas traps last night at the beginning of the stream. We do everything, dude. Just come check it out. It's fun. It's goofy. So, with that, see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.